389 Gaming.
Hey guys, it's Garth389 here, and oh, hold on, I'm gonna turn that off for a second. Hey guys, it's Garth389 here, and yeah, I guess I've been gone for about a month. Sorry about that, guys. I wasn't actually intending to not post a video for a month. I had a little bit of things going on. Was at work a lot because it was getting close to spring vacation and everyone's buying tons of stuff at the store to get ready for going on holidays and stuff, and the store being closed for a couple days, stuff like that. And I was also in Sweden for a week, and I had an essay to deliver. So all of that at once, and after a very short period of time, I realized that 3.5 weeks have passed and I haven't posted a video. So y'all probably think I'm dead. I'm not dead. I have green eyes. I just noticed that my character model has green eyes. I don't actually know if you guys even recognize who this character is. He looks like an oddly dressed pirate. Well, he is in fact Vice from Skies of Arcadia, so if you guys know that game, then congratulate yourselves on knowing a very, very specific game that not a lot of people are aware of these days. It's a very good game, though, actually. I might actually do a Let's Play of that eventually. So, where am I and what am I doing? Well, I'm sitting at my computer playing Minecraft. And I got a pretty good world on the first try in version 1.5.1. Is that what it is? 1.5.1? Yes, that is correct. So that is the version I'm using now, and if you guys have seen any of my earlier videos, you know that I originally started this channel with the intention of making a how to build a superstructure video, and I had succeeded in making something that looked a little bit like this. I also had a farm system set up and inventory system, and I spent a lot of time arguing for the usefulness of having a underwater base, primarily for the fact that you have easy access to the upper or so the layers of the level. See, this is the bottom, the top floor, so to speak, and already here we are at 38. So it's not hard to get all the way down to diamond level and stuff. So I figure I'll just show you guys what I've built so far. It's not really impressive. Building underwater bases is actually not that hard. The primary thing that you have to do is, or at least for this build, it's very simple. You just go down, and you can actually see what I've done. You just make a cross shape, and you put it in water that is deep enough that you don't drown on the way back up. Or, sorry, shallow enough that you don't drown on the way back up. So I just made that, and then you just dig your way down, and then once you start hitting dirt again, that's when you've gone past the water level, and you can start expanding outwards. I like to take it a couple more steps down, just to make sure that you don't, flood your base by accident. So anyways, I thought I'd show this out. These rooms aren't done yet. This is kind of just a work in progress. I had originally intended to do a little bit more with this base before I even showed it to you guys. But as things have turned out, I kind of haven't posted a video in a while, so I just wanted to get something out in a semi-hurry. As you guys have probably seen in my... Well, actually, I don't know if you've probably seen my first couple of videos, but if you have seen my first couple of videos, you know that I love to make these huge walls of furnaces. And see, this room, I'm actually not sure what I'm going to do with this, but this is what the other 3 rooms are going to look like eventually. You're going to have the little cobblestone in the middle here, stone roofs, brick column in the middle, and wood. And of course wooden doors. I might do a little bit more in terms of like aesthetic design and stuff eventually, but for now, you know, we're good. This is going to be hollowed out and used for utility rooms of various sorts. That's actually what I wanted to finish before I showed you guys anything, but didn't get around to it. And of course the chest room. Now, it has come to my attention that there is actually a way to make this even more efficient, to like fill up even more space. If you use trapped chests, you can actually have trapped chests right next to a normal chest, as they don't overlap with each other. So you can go wall to wall with chests now if you use trapped chests. I haven't actually finished this yet. I actually need to cut down more trees because I keep running out of wood. I probably should put some light down here. I have the feeling that one day I'm going to come down here and there's going to be a creeper waiting for me and say, "Hi, I'm a creeper. Who are you?" Boom. That's what creepers do. They just sort of show up and they want to say hi to you and they get all excited and they explode. It's unfortunate, but you know, that is the circle of life. So let's go get some trees. This actually spawned in a pretty good world on my first try. Usually I have to do a couple worlds to spawn somewhere that is not, you know, like frozen wasteland as far as the eye can see. Not that it isn't entertaining to play in a frozen wasteland as well. Oh, jeez, it's gonna get dark. Oh well, what's the worst that could happen? You know, aside from a creeper blowing me up. So yeah, I intend to once again attempt to make a what do you call it? A superstructure series again. However, probably not to the same sort of magnitude, or maybe to the same magnitude. I'm not gonna dig one of those giant holes. If you guys want, you can go back to, like, I think it's the second video I ever posted, and you will see probably one of the largest holes in the ground dug by a single person. And you're probably thinking, like, well, you can only go 64 deep into the earth. Well, you can dig outwards as far as you want. And I did. Actually, I dug outwards quite a bit further than I wanted to. I don't actually remember the exact specs of that hole in the ground, but it was impressively large. We'll just leave it at that. It was big enough. And the intention of digging that huge hole in the ground was just to gather enough cobblestone and turn it into smooth stone so that I could build a giant tower to the heavens. Oh, hello, creepers. Away! Alright. Dealt with. Alright, I am on my A game today. I managed to take on 2 creepers without blowing myself up. So, anyways, that's sort of what my plan is going to be. I'm going to try my best to get something out in the near future that has a bit more production value than this. Hold on, let's see if I can turn the brightness up a little bit. Is there an option for that even? There we go. Now, it is no longer pitch black. I think they may have changed the brightness settings so that if you turn the brightness up, it actually is bright. Because this looks pretty bright to me. So improvements. But yeah, what I was trying to say before I went and killed the spider, I'm going to try and get something out that has a little bit more production value than this in the near future. Not entirely sure when, though, because I have to work tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, which is, you know, the story of every episode that I post on YouTube. It's just, oh, well, you know, I have to go to work tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. And, I mean, I know a lot of YouTubers have normal jobs as well. Their jobs are not as time-consuming, usually. A lot of those YouTubers, you know, they have, like, cars and stuff. I don't have a car. I have... And also, the problem is, like, when I work. I have this weird shift that's, like, in the middle of the day, sort of. I start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so I have to leave the house around 12 o'clock in the morning, which gives me a little bit of time to wake up. I can sometimes manage to record something or edit something, but never both at the same time. Hello, creepers. Alright, so there was an army of creepers after me there. But yeah, if you're wondering why I can't post on a regular schedule like, you know, normal YouTubers who have a normal day job, it's mainly because of that, and secondarily because I also go to college at the same time. So I have a more or less full-time college. I have more or less full-time college education to deal with, and I have a 50% job on top of that, so I work like 150% of that, which makes me a little bit busy sometimes. Not always. Like today, for instance, I've had the entire day off, so I've had a little time to relax, collect myself, and now I'm just sitting down playing some Minecraft. Figured I'd turn on Fraps. You guys can see me play Minecraft. See that I am in fact not dead. There's a creeper hanging out here in my patch of grass. Die, creeper! Oh, I think I might have knocked him on land. Oh, no, I didn't. We're good. Alright, so they deal a lot of damage even when they're in water, but at least they don't destroy things, which is good. There we go. Problem solved. Oh, also, default texture pack. If you guys don't like default texture pack, I guess, you know, it's just something to deal with, because at the moment I don't feel like installing a texture pack. It doesn't take long to install a texture pack, obviously. But the thing is that I've been using the same like texture pack for eons, and I figured I'd switch back to the default texture pack for a little while. And I kind of like it. I mean, it's like more the original developers' intended appearance for the game, and that kind of gives it its own little unique charm. That this is sort of how it was intended to look. Oh, of course, I've got like creepers up there. I've been meaning to put lights on the top of that, but I keep forgetting to. Oh well. I can show you guys my defense system. Look, they can't get in. They can try all they want, but they cannot get in because mobs cannot swim down. So that makes this like perfectly defended, more or less. And even if they did get in by some miracle, you know, they have to come down this little hole in the ground here. It makes them pretty easy to deal with. I also got pretty lucky when digging in here and found that it leads straight into a cave system. The cave system doesn't lead that far. I do not believe it goes down to diamond level even. Or maybe it does. Yeah, I guess it does, if I go far enough down. Oh, thank you. Okay. Stupid skeleton. Right, and he dealt with himself, so I didn't have to do anything. It's convenient. So I have been down here, apparently. Let's get some iron while we're at it. Iron is always useful. I already have a, what's it called, an anvil. So I am more looking for diamonds at the moment, but I do not believe we are far enough down yet for that to be a thing. So let's see, what else can I talk about? I guess I can tell you guys about my trip to Sweden. You probably don't care, but me and my brother Kyle, we were in Sweden with our family on vacation. We have my family has like a summer apartment, I guess is the correct term for it. Summer apartment in Sweden. It's in a very sort of I don't know how to explain exactly, but it's kind of like an old town that doesn't really have much in the way of like city-like things. So it's like it was a city at one point, and then it just sort of devolved into like rural area. But yeah, it's a nice place, but a little boring, especially when like there's nothing to do. Granted, we didn't attempt to do much. Me and Kyle sat around and played video games on our laptops the whole time, while I had an essay that was due at the end of Easter, so I had to actually work on that. But at the same time, you know, I didn't. I instead decided to play video games because, yeah, I'm stupid like that. But you know, we had an alright time, and we went out to eat at least once, and then we came back home again to visit relatives for Easter, and that is pretty much the extent of the trip. It was not much more than that. Foot's falling asleep there. Ooh, I haven't been here before. More redstone. Let's collect the red stuff. Ain't nothing like the red stuff. Actually, do any of you guys know how to use redstone? Because, you know, if you guys can explain how the new redstone update affects how redstone works, and maybe tell me how to use redstone properly, I might actually be able to use that in my build. I'm not really good with redstone. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The extent of my knowledge of redstone was I could make a random, what's it called, a randomizer or something like that. I could make like this little setup that generates random bursts of energy in random directions, and I could use that to create automatically firing, but not very quickly automatically firing dispensers, which was fun. So, besides that, I'm not very good with redstone. I never put a lot of effort into learning it. You know, like a buddy of mine that I used to play Minecraft with, he was really into it. And he spent like all his days making redstone, and it just frustrated the hell out of him. And I guess that kind of scared me off of it even more. It's like, now I really don't want to do redstone because It's taking in a usually calm person and turning him into like a swearing, raging maniac. And yeah, I can see how that would happen, because it can be frustrating. A lot of what you do with Redstone, or a lot of what I've seen people do with Redstone, is not things that the developers had originally intended, and as such they are a little buggy, and they do not always work as intended. For instance, back on a server that I was a moderator for a while back, we had built this huge town using what's it called? I don't even remember the plugin, but you get the point. It was like a town add-in plugin, Townie, I think it was. Yeah, Townie. So we'd managed to make a town that had like 100 people, 100 residents, whatever you call it, and the power of being a moderator. Obviously, we didn't really abuse our power. It was just our town was just really good. There were a lot of towns that were as good as ours, but ours just had the benefit of having like 4 moderators in it. So a lot of people just sort of gravitated to it in the beginning, and then after a while it was just the biggest town, so everyone joined it. But anyways, we ended up with like 120 residents, and we decided to make a lighting system. A sort of automatic lighting system that went under the ground, and that it used a light sensor. And at first that all sounded really good in theory. As long as there were people in the town, everywhere in the town, which there were in the beginning, then the lights worked fine. But the problem was, as soon as an area of our town unloaded, and the town was big enough that individual parts of the town could unload if there weren't people in them. So, like, individual chunks would unload. And then the daylight sensor would be sending a redstone signal, but that redstone signal would not be received at the other end. And because of that, you ended up with lights on in half of the town and lights off in half the town, because there weren't people there when the sun went off, and that inverts the signal. So that instead of the sun, or instead of the lights being on when the sun is up, the lights are on, or sorry, instead of the lights being on when the sun is down, the lights were on when the sun was up. And that confused the hell out of us. And it frustrated everyone. So that is the extent of my story about Redstone, and it's more or less why I don't do Redstone that much. Besides, I like doing things from hand. But the Redstone update has added a couple of interesting new features that I might want to try out, so I may end up using... Oh boy. I may end up using a little eventually. So anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I don't want to make a long video. I've already gone to like 20 minutes or something. That's more than long enough for you guys. So I'll be back once I have done a little bit more work with the base, and we'll start from the beginning with me talking about infrastructure. And then hopefully we will move on from infrastructure to planning, and then from planning to implementation, and then from implementation to finalization, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. Have a nice day, guys.